skyline, Abu Dhabi's towers, and high-quality drone footage of the Yemen coastline. High-tension orchestral music. Voiceover. For decades, Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates were seen as the twin pillars of Middle Eastern stability. Two monarchies, bound by geography, religion, and oil, standing shoulder to shoulder against regional rivals. But today, that brotherhood is facing its greatest test. On Tuesday, December 30th, 2025, the world watched in shock as Saudi-led coalition jets struck a shipment in Yemen that Riyadh claimed was a U-linked weapons delivery. This wasn't just a military operation, it was a loud, explosive declaration that the alliance is fractured. The Saudi government called it a red line. The UAE called it a surprise attack on a non-lethal shipment. Within hours, a 24-hour ultimatum was issued for Emirati forces to leave Yemen entirely. How did we get here? From best friends to bitter rivals. This is the story of the widening Gulf Rift. Northern Yemen, Houthi-controlled, in one color, and southern Yemen, STC/UE-backed, in another, show Saudi and UAE flags moving in different directions. To understand the present, we have to look at the battlefield of Yemen. In 2015, both nations entered the war together to fight the Iran-aligned Houthis. But as the years dragged on, their goals shifted. Saudi Arabia, sharing a massive border with Yemen, wants a stable, united country and a government in Sana'a that is friendly to Riyadh. They backed President Rashad al-Alami. But the UAE had a different strategy. They began backing the Southern Transitional Council, STC, separatists who want South Yemen to be an independent state again. Why? Because control of South Yemen means control of the strategic ports and the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, one of the world's most vital maritime oil routes. By 2019, the UAE officially concluded its military presence, leaving only specialized personnel. But Riyadh saw this as a shadow game, accusing Abu Dhabi of fueling strife to maintain its own geopolitical influence. Graphics of oil barrels, stock market tickers, and footage of NEOM, Saudi, versus downtown Dubai. The rift isn't just about guns and borders, it's about money and the future of the global economy. Under Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, Saudi Arabia is racing to diversify its economy through Vision 2030. They are building megacities like NEOM and demanding that international companies move their regional headquarters to Riyadh. This puts them in direct competition with Dubai, which has been the region's undisputed business hub for 30 years. Then, there is OPEC. For years, the UAE has felt frustrated by Saudi-led oil production quotas. Abu Dhabi has invested billions into increasing its oil capacity and wants to pump more to fund its own national transition. When Saudi Arabia says cut production to keep prices high, the UAE sees it as a handbrake on their growth. The tension in the boardroom has finally spilled onto the battlefield. On one side, Saudi state TV reports. On the other, UAE's WAM news agency statements. Footage of Emirati troops boarding transport planes. The events of this week are the climax of this simmering tension. Following the Saudi airstrike on the shipment, the UAE's Ministry of Defense took the drastic step of ending its counter-terrorism mission entirely. The rhetoric has reached a fever pitch. Yemen's Saudi-backed leader, Rashad al-Alami, took to television to accuse the UAE of fueling strife. For the first time, the language coming out of Riyadh wasn't diplomatic. It was an accusation of betrayal. For the UAE, this is a matter of sovereignty. They claim their presence was coordinated with international partners to fight terrorism. By being forced out, the UAE is effectively being told that their influence in the backyard of the Arabian Peninsula is no longer welcome. Leaders, MBS and MBZ, not looking at each other. Cinematic shots of the desert horizon. So, where does the Middle East go from here? This rift changes everything. If Saudi Arabia and the UAE no longer coordinate, the security of the Persian Gulf is at risk. It opens the door for other powers, Iran, China, and Russia, to navigate the spaces between these two giants. It also leaves the war in Yemen in a dangerous limbo. Without a unified coalition, the path to peace becomes even more treacherous. We are watching a divorce between the two most powerful economies in the Arab world. Is this a permanent break, or can diplomacy save the special relationship? One thing is certain, the map of the Middle East is being redrawn, and the ink is still wet. Visual, fade to black with the text, the Gulf Rift, 2025, and a subscribe button. Voiceover, what do you think? Is Riyadh right to protect its borders, or is Abu Dhabi being unfairly pushed out? Let us know in the comments below.